I quit my job after 10 years, and you should too. No, I'm joking. Unless you really want to, then do that. I'm living proof that it is possible. It's possible for you. And we coming up actually on the 4-year anniversary since I quit my job. I made the decision that I will never put in an application again. No more jobs. No more of that. I am the job. I am the money. I am the bag. I am the benefit. That's the energy I started to move with moving forward. And it was interesting. It was scary. And, it depends on your risk tolerance and whatnot. But I will say, I do think I believe, I know for sure it's possible for everybody. If you're watching this video and you want to quit your job, comment, I'm done right now, and commit to that and stick to that and that vision and start to embody that as your reality, right? But I'll tell you a little bit about mine and how, honestly, getting into the job, I knew 10 years prior to me actually quitting that I wasn't going to be there for a lifetime. I remember, honestly, like maybe the first week or so, or within that first month, I just remember this statement. It had to be early on. It was a statement from my supervisor. He said, if you're looking to get rich, this is not your spot. This is probably the max you'll make. And I was like, I'm not the target audience. You feel me? And it took a while because it took a lot of bravery. It took a lot of will, courage. And then after working for years and actually starting to get comfortable, get that paycheck, that security, now I'm a part of the culture, work and wake up, do the work, get off work. You know what I mean? I was like, and I never felt like it was aligned or me the whole entire 10 years. So it was wild to like almost live like a double life, especially when, I started to take off on social media. So I'll say I knew. I had that inkling. I said, you talking to me? Okay, let me set up the exit plan. And it just took a little longer. Just, maybe not having the right mentors, the right mentality, the right readiness within whatever I felt like I needed, which I also believe that we all have everything that we need right now and to get everything that we want. So I know I went into it, I worked it, and then 10 years later, I finally made this decision and said, you know what? I'm committing to the idea that I am the job, that the universe has me. I am safe. I am brave. I am protected. I am good to go. I am abundant. I am in flow. Things are going to move in the way that they need to move in order for me to do the way that I need to do. Right. And so I made a decision. I remember I was reading this book. Actually, I was listening to this audio book on repeat regularly. It was called U Squared. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, right? U Squared. You know how you square a number, in math? I'm doing this too, right? I don't know what I was doing too. And I'm not left-handed, but I'm trying to do it with the left hand. But anyway, U Squared, I had that on repeat, and it talks about like the quantum world, and it talks about making quantum leaps, and it talks about taking a leap without even knowing how you're going to get to the destination, but your eyes is set on the prize, and you're going to land there when you jump, and you have trust and you have faith, And eventually it clicked for me. I'm like, yo, I'm never going to get to this moment, this point where I'm like, I feel like it. Where I'm like, yeah, this is comfortable now. And never say never, right? But I was like, it was calling me. Something was calling me. And it's funny because a lot of people work at a job where it's like you hate the job, you don't like the community, you don't like the culture of it. The people are just, why am I around these type of people? Well, mine, I had a lot of flexibility. It was free. I was, a field technician, so I drove to different sites, service whoever I needed to service. Then I'm back in the car on the road listening to my audiobooks on to the next site, you know what I mean? Or done for the day. Didn't have to work a full 8 hours, but would get the full 8-hour pay every couple weeks. So that kind of got real comfortable for me. I'm like, wow, I could do whatever I need to do in between time, And for all of you that's working at a job where it's like you hate the culture, you hate what you got to be around, we got some decisions to make. But fortunately, that wasn't my situation, but still the call was calling, right? Even with all that free time, it was still like, no, this ain't it for me. This is not an alignment. I eventually, like I said, became two people. I had this idea that I'm like the Black Clark Kent, right? I show up at work with my button-up shirt on, slacks, and dress shoes and whatnot. That was what we wore, as we showed up as technicians. And then in the evening, I throw the bandana on and it's Mellow Will, I'm rapper, creator, I'm stepping out, I'm outside and all that. And it was like, no, this isn't alignment. This isn't me. Nobody at my job knows anything about anything I got going on social media and my life outside of work. I don't keep up with them. I'm not really a part of it. My coworkers, we were all local, but well, not all of us. My company was in another state, but we had a few locals here that I would like meet up with. We would meet up like once a week and whatnot. It was all right. And if I was like ready to just be cool, calm, and complacent in life, and I didn't have bigger dreams and aspirations and desires in my heart that I know that I deserve, then I would have just settled and been okay and just rode the wave, maybe get a little extra something on the side. But, I believe bigger for myself. And I feel like me making that decision was me answering the call. And it's funny because when I made the decision, I told nobody. I'm like, this is my call and this is my vision. I hear it. People won't even hear it. It won't even make sense. I don't even want to have to deal with back and forth. I don't want to hear no limiting thinking, no limiting beliefs. I don't want to talk to nobody who ain't doing what I desire to do at all. Right? So I literally told nobody. And by the way, I do have responsibilities. So I'm like, I'm taking a leap and I'm trusting me. I'm trusting God. I trust the universe. I know this is going to work. I hear it loud and clear. And I made a decision. And it was scary. And I picked up that phone and I made that call. And I was at that point, you can imagine 10 years in, you got a relationship with your whoever, but for me, it was my team, like the supervisor, other coworkers. Got a somewhat relationship. I wasn't too tapped in. I didn't show up and talk to them regularly. I honestly talked to them as little as I could. They was cool people. Just wasn't my people, like that I would align with for real, like, and really, really am in alignment with. And yeah, man, it was like, wow, I'm really making this call. I'm really gonna tell you. It's almost like breaking up. It was like a breakup. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? And what's funny, what's interesting, not funny, but more interesting is that they good without you. They gonna move on. They gonna find another replacement. It's like, wow. Of course they try. They say, what about this? What if we raised it? Nah, it ain't really about that. And I already knew from day one that you're not gonna be able to reach and match what I desire to have coming in. So why am I even wasting my time? Why am I wasting y'all's time? Why am I wasting these customers' time? I did build some great relationships with some great customers, because I'm just integral like that, and I'm intentional like that with my energy. And so the smile, the energy, was loved and it was appreciated, and the experience was appreciated for real. But I had to make that decision. I made a decision, and I had honestly a confirmation right off the bat. I made the call, got off the call, checked my email, and by the way, I think I had like a few 100,000 followers at this time on TikTok, and I checked my email, and I had like this offer for like a few $100s or something like that, like some type of deal. And I don't remember ever having received nothing like that before that. So I get off that call, I check the email, I see that, and I'm like, I'm good. I knew it. The universe is on my side. It's in my favor. I move, you move, just like that. I made a move, you made a move. You showed me that it's true, that it's going to work out for you. I embodied it. It was beautiful, and it was still scary at the same time. I still took a risk. I still took a jump, and I know I'm not telling you, like I said, don't go just quit your job, but I will say, if you have those thoughts and you know that's not going to be your forever, you might want to start making that exit a little sooner. I would love to have talked to me early on and go, hey, make the jump now. You got it. You got everything you need. Get with the right people. You take your time, all your energy, all your thoughts back, right? Your thought power, your thoughts. Take them back. All the time that you spend throughout your day, you can put it into you can build you can grow you, and you're more than enough, and you're gonna be provided for in abundance because you are abundant and you show up. It's beautiful. I made a decision. Like I said, that happened. I got that confirmation. I was still a little fearful. I still wasn't sure. It still wasn't probably the most logical decision, but that delusion, and also what it moves me to do with my time and my being more disciplined and showing up in a more strategic way, it pushes you into that because you don't have that check coming in. So I'm like, next week, how many more weeks is, we counting down. When my last check come, okay, get active. get active. And I like that pressure for me. It pushes me. I like to hustle. I like to grind. I like to show up. I like a little challenge in life. It makes life feel more life, right? More fulfilling, more purposeful. Give me something to show up for. It's exciting. Something to strive for every single day. Something to show up for every day. It's a beautiful thing. And for the people that are at jobs where, one thing I would never understand is people that stay at a job, complain about a job, think that the job owed them something, all this entitlement. It's definitely a different perspective too, coming from a business owner versus a employee. And I know a lot of employees may not even understand business, but they just know, hey, you feed my family, you pay me this check, right? People go in and complain. I've heard people, with jobs just complain, man, they gave me this amount of raise and I've been doing this and I should get this. Like, where's the entitlement? It's not your business. Help me understand if this don't make sense. If you like, nah, Mello. Because for me, you working for somebody else's company, you don't make the rules there. So where do we get this entitlement when we show up and think that we're going to change them or make them see us in a greater light? If they don't value you, if you don't like how much they value you, leave. Nobody's telling you have to work at that job. Leave. And if you don't have the ability to leave, or you feel like you've told yourself you kept that story in your mind that you don't have that ability and you don't have no other resources or anything else that you can do to actually bring some income in, that's your story. Stick to your story, but I would say shift your story. Shift your story and know that you are the bag. You are the benefit. You don't have to stay there. And if you're going to stay there, at least just don't complain, because that's the company. Just see it for what it is and go, okay, oh yeah, I don't see the value. Literally, I like a silent walk away, where you're going to feel it when I'm gone. I'm not going to be rah, rah, rah. Oh, please give me more money, please. I need a raise, man. How you going? Then you take your time and your energy, instead of building up your business on the side, you crying and whining about what they didn't do for you and what they should do more for you. And man, come on, I've been here for 10 years. Like, nah. That's their business. That's their model. Sometimes you don't understand on the other end. Like, if they were to give you more, but you're not doing what they need you to do, or you're not that valuable of a player, maybe you think you're doing certain things, but if you were that valuable, they would have to pay you whatever you would ask for, honestly. And, you might debate that, but that's okay. Leave the job and see if it goes on. If that business crumbles without you, then okay, you made a huge difference. And I promise you, they'll probably come and pay you what you need to get that business back up and going. But if you're not that valuable, then it's more likely that you'll be more valuable building something that you're tied to, you're passionate about, that is coming from your creativity. And for me, that was the thing, man. I just know I wanted to pour all into me. I started to just feel like I am him. I am the one. I have a great impact to have on the world. Right? And you got to answer that call in order to do that. You got to get a little more discipline. You got to get around more disciplined people, more business-minded, focused people that are actually taking those steps on a daily basis, because it's a lifestyle. It's a different lifestyle versus having that comfortability to fall back on and go, okay, if I don't work today, I don't feel like it. It's cool. You kind of wait until you feel like it. Remember that? But when you're around it and it's just a part of your lifestyle and you understand this is what we do and we keep the operation going and flowing, and I am the operation, until I build out, and start to delegate the operation a little more, which is what I'm in the process of myself. Then yeah, you just do what you got to do. You don't cry, you don't complain, and I'm a lot more passionate about it because it's something that is mine. Every minute that I put into working and putting some effort into creating now and building something now and connecting and networking now is building something that's building me, my brand, my family, name, everything up, right? So every effort is into that. So I'm a lot more passionate about it, excited about it. It's not just going into this company, which, I love being able to show up and service and help people, which is, I was still in the service business, but now I'm able to service in a way where it's, a direct connect, right? I'm the vessel. I'm a source of high vibrations, abundance, blessings, confidence. It takes a lot of confidence to quit that job. Take a lot of assurance within self-love. And I know I did it solo, but I think the right community, the right encouragement, like I said, that book, You Squared, really stood out. I really just stayed focused in on the mindset and perspective of you will win. You are a winner. You are a successful entrepreneur. These affirmations, huge, just really brainwashing myself with these beliefs that I'm a superhero. I'm not here to be the norm. I'm here to do supercalifragilisticexpialidocious type of things, off the Richter scale, helping so many. Hopefully this video helped you right now. If this helped you and you made it this far, you're a star. Comment down below, let me know. Join the community. I'll put the community in the description. I would love to see you in there. That'll be on every video. Of course, subscribe, like the video, and we're going to keep it flowing, man. We're going to build more individuals, that are individually valuable, abundant, blessed beyond their beliefs, taking leaps and bounds in life, switching up the family tree, making it just so much more prosperously, if that's a word, prosperous. I just wanted to rhyme, you feel me? But yeah, just some things too. I would say too, don't wait until you feel like you're ready. Just know the universe got you. Trust yourself. And don't be too attached to the outcome. Get into the journey. Get excited about it. Grow through it. Know through it. You already know where there's a will, there's a way. Hey.